Hi, it's Miss Pretzel, and I am book talking a book that would be classified as biographical fiction. So, biographical fiction is often called historical fiction because it would be. It's the people in the story are real, but the author chooses to present it in a format of fiction where there's dialogue and everything like this. And I love that Marie Benedict writes in this format because I find it much easier to read fiction than I do to read nonfiction, and so I can get a lot of interesting stories, and then I do my own little kind of like Googling research to find out, like, okay, where does this all fall out. So this is called Her Hidden Genius, and like I said, the author is Marie Benedict, and she is writing about a woman scientist from the 40s and 50s. She was from England, from a prominent Jewish family. She talks about the discrimination within, that she faced. Because first she started working in England. She moves to France, where she feels, really comfortable at the place she's working in France. But some things happen that she ends up back in England. And things happen. Basically, what happens is that she starts out as in crystallography, working with finding the atoms within coal. And crystallography involved X-rays and getting pictures of the atoms. But when she moves back to England, she's given the task of helping to uncover the secrets of DNA. Now, you're probably, if you've taken science classes, you may have heard the names of James Watson and Francis Crick, who won the Nobel Prize because of their work with DNA. What you don't know is that they could not have accomplished what they accomplished, definitely not in the timeline in which they did, without her work, and yet she was given no credit for this. And there's some people come right out and say, yeah, they pretty much stole her work, and people say partly because it was a male world of science out there, but there's also one of her actual biographers says you can't, you also have to look at the anti-Semitism that there was within the scientific community. So that not only was she a woman, she was also Jewish and not taken seriously. And so nobody seemed to like, oh, this is so horrible that they kind of stole her research to buoy their own thoughts on DNA, and really back up all their thoughts on DNA. So, like I said, it's only been within the last number of years that some biographers have written about Rosalind Franklin. And, I just imagine to be a woman and to have that, this science and this discovery that you had and you intended to put out taken away from you. And she does go on to do other things. The sad thing is that she died around the age of 38 from cancer, and it was due to the exposure to the radiation from X-rays. And that's talked about in the book, and that she, like many scientists of the time, there was no definitive proof that the radiation that came from X-rays was as dangerous as things like, because Marie Curie had died, and they're like, oh yes, well, direct exposure to radiation like that will kill you, but there was no scientific proof at that time that X-rays, the radiation from X-rays, could also kill you. So I just found it a fascinating story because a book like this always makes me want to dive deeper into the subject and find, like, I found some PBS videos and other things where I could read more about Francis Crick and Watson and what she accomplished and what they kind of stole from her, and without giving her any credit. So, like I said, I really enjoy reading Marie Benedict's books because they're written in a fictionalized format, which once again makes it easier for me to read. So if you are somebody who likes historical fiction and you like strong women and you're interested in science or any one of the above, I think you might enjoy Her Hidden Genius by Marie Benedict, but you might enjoy some of other Marie Benedict's works as well, because I've read other books of hers too, and I've really enjoyed them. So have a fantastic day and keep on reading.